Hi, fourth graders. Thanks for joining me today for math. Today, we're going to keep working with penny jar situations. We're going to focus on constructing and writing rules for those situations. You should be getting a little more comfortable with penny jar situations. And by now, you should have been able to identify some patterns and some rules over the past few days. Those are going to help you with the rules we're going to be working on today. I'm going to show you an example of a new penny jar situation. Let me share it with you. Now, as we go through this example, I want you to think about rules or a rule that can help you solve how many pennies are in the penny jar after so many rounds. This will help you especially when we start moving into greater or higher number of rounds. So instead of adding in your head or counting up, you can find a rule that can help you find the answers more efficiently. So in this example, they started with 8 pennies in the jar. And for each round, they added 5 pennies. The question is, how many pennies will there be after 10 rounds? So you can see that there are 10 rounds. They add 5 pennies each round. 10 times 5 equals 50. And that is represented here in this array. You can see that there's 10 rows with 5 pennies in each row. Now, we cannot forget the number of pennies we started with, which were 8 pennies. Those are down here. So we add 50 plus 8 to get 58 total pennies after round 10. So this right here is the rule that was generated for this penny jar situation. Now, I'm interested in what the students say about their rules that they came up with down here. So let's take a listen to what they say.
You multiply the number of rounds by 5. Then you add 8, because that is the number of pennies in the jar at the beginning. The round times 5 plus 8. 5 times n plus 8. In my rule, n stands for the number of rounds, but I could have used a different letter.
Interesting that she's talking about those letters, because mathematicians often use numbers and other symbols to express rules like this one when some amount, such as the total number of pennies, changes in a certain predictable way every time some other amount changes, in this case, the number of rounds. These two ideas are very close to a mathematical expression. These two ideas, close to a mathematical expression. However, they are using words. So, if you're going to write it the way a mathematician would, we can't use words. We can only use numbers and symbols. The symbols represent unknown quantities. We usually see these unknown quantities as a question mark, an empty box, a blank space, a circle, and so on. Your job today is to complete the new tables for the for the penny jar situations in the slides. Then for each table, you're going to write a rule for your table using words and then as an equation that includes a letter. That letter is also known as symbolic notation. So that is it for today, kiddos. Make sure to swing by my office hours today at 10:30 if you have any questions or just want to visit. See you soon.